They weren't supposed to survive this. 100 rifles aimed at one car, bullets slicing the air like a metal rainstorm, but Bonnie and Clyde didn't run. They didn't surrender. They simply ducked behind their Ford V8 and dared the world to try and stop them. Some cars don't just get abandoned. They vanish. They disappear with their owners. And sometimes, they're found decades later, with stories nobody wants to talk about. Out here on Crypt, we dig into the weirdest stories the world tried to forget. And tonight, buckle up, because I've got 4 abandoned cars for you, each with a past so wild, you'll swear they were cursed. These aren't just rusted machines sitting in a field. These are time capsules, crime scenes, lost dreams, and monuments standing in the middle of nowhere. One car was buried underground for 50 freaking years. Another is covered in real bullet holes from a deadly ambush. One sits in the Dubai desert, left behind by people who vanished overnight. And the last? Let's just say it literally replaced the Stonehenge stones. So yeah, sit tight. This is gonna get crazy. Alright, let's kick this off with one of the strangest, what were they even thinking, moments in American history. In 1957, the city of Tulsa thought it'd be a genius idea to bury a brand new Plymouth Belvedere under the ground. Yep, 6 feet under, like a freaking steel coffin. They called it a time capsule for the people of the future. A gift from the 50s to the 2000s. But here's the part they didn't think about. Oklahoma floods, a lot. When they opened that vault in 2007, 50 years later, this shiny golden dream car was absolutely wrecked. The whole vault had filled like a bathtub. The Belvedere? Bro, she was half melted. Rust, mud, rotten upholstery. She looks like she had survived the apocalypse. But even in that ruined state, Miss Belvedere became something else. A reminder of how the future never goes the way we expect. Today, she sits in a museum in Illinois, still corroded, still damaged, but still a legend. Now this next one, this ain't cute. This one's raw, and 34. Bonnie and Clyde, America's original outlaw celebrity couple. Robbers, criminals, but also icons. And the Ford V8 they were driving? That thing went down in history the second the bullets started flying. The police lit that car up with over 100 rounds. Windows shattered, metal ripped like paper. When the smoke cleared, Bonnie and Clyde were gone. And the car? It became a freaking circus attraction. They dragged that bullet hole-covered Ford all over the country like some dark trophy. People paid money just to stare at dried blood and look through the holes. And today, that same car is sitting in a Nevada casino, still covered in bullet holes, still haunting. It's the kind of car you don't take your eyes off, because it feels like the ghosts of Bonnie and Clyde are still riding in the back seat. Alright, let's fly halfway across the world, to a place where abandoned cars aren't old classics. They're million-dollar supercars. Dubai. The land of big money, bigger buildings, and apparently, people ditching supercars like empty water bottles. And their cars, they stayed behind, like ghosts of a dream life that went horribly sideways. Every dusty Ferrari in Dubai has the same story. Someone chasing a big life and losing it. Ferraris with the key still inside. Lambos sitting in sand dunes. Bugattis collecting dust outside airports. And here's the crazy part. Most of these cars weren't abandoned because people got bored. They were abandoned because of debt laws. In the UAE, if your loan bounces, your check fails, you can literally go to jail. So when folks got hit hard during the 2008 financial crash, they did the only thing they could. They left. As in, left the country overnight. And their cars? They stayed behind. Like ghosts of a dream life that went horribly sideways. Every dusty Ferrari in Dubai has the same story. Someone chasing a big life and losing it. Okay, after all that crime and chaos, let's end on something weird. Like really weird. In Nebraska, there's a field where the stones of Stonehenge have been replaced with vintage cars. Yeah, I'm serious. It's called Carhenge. Built in 1987 by a guy named Jim Reinders as a tribute to his dad, he grabbed 38 old American cars, stood some of them upright, stacked some like arches, spray painted the whole thing gray, and boom, Stonehenge 2.0. And if that wasn't wild enough, in 2017 the entire world watched as a total solar eclipse passed right over Carhenge. Imagine that, a cosmic moment happening right over a circle of dead cars. It's strange, it's beautiful, and honestly, kinda magical. Some cars don't fade away, they quietly slip into history, and when they resurface, the truth behind them feels even stranger. People say cars can't keep secrets, but some of them do, for decades. Every forgotten car has a story, but a few stories feel almost too mysterious to explain. Some cars aren't abandoned, they simply stop being seen, until one day someone stumbles upon them again. Time doesn't erase everything. Some cars return after decades, carrying unanswered questions. Some cars don't just get abandoned, they vanish. They disappear with their owners. And sometimes, they're found decades later, with stories nobody wants to talk about. Not every disappearance is loud. Some are so quiet that nobody notices, until years later. Sometimes a car is left behind, and sometimes it leaves behind a mystery no one expected. There are cars that rust, and there are cars that return with stories that feel almost unreal. Some vehicles don't get forgotten, they wait, and when they're finally found, nothing about them feels ordinary. For years, no one knew where it went, until a discovery brought back questions no one was ready to ask. Some cars don't simply get left behind. They slip out of sight as if the world forgot they ever existed. No sound, no shadow, just an empty space where they once stood. And then years later, they quietly return, untouched by time, holding a silence that feels heavier than truth. People walk past them with a strange chill, as if those cars remember something no one else does. Because some mysteries don't follow us. They wait, patiently, for us to find them. These aren't just rusted machines sitting in a field. These are time capsules, crime scenes, lost dreams, and monuments standing in the middle of nowhere. So there you have it. 4 abandoned cars that survived history, chaos, loss, and even the freaking universe. A buried time capsule, a crime scene on wheels, a desert full of abandoned dreams, and a monument that turned junk into art. Before you go, there's one more place I have to show you. A hidden graveyard where hundreds of cars rest in absolute silence. No footsteps, no voices, just the feeling that something is quietly watching. Every car there looks frozen in time, as if the moment they stopped, the world around them did too. People say when you look closely, these cars feel like they're staring right back, like they're keeping an eye on anyone who dares to come near. So if you're ready, tap that I button, because this story doesn't end here. It only gets stranger. If you want more insane stories like this, hit that like button and tell me which abandoned car mystery I should dig up next. This is Crypt, and we'll see you on the next ride.